I've been a Browns fan my entire life, and I watched every single game this year. And to most people's surprise, quarterback play wasn't even our biggest issue. Against probably the worst defensive line in the league, we were still getting pressured, and that's the craziest thing. Joe Flacco, I know that he's old, but look, he gets sacked there against probably the worst defensive line in the league. Our biggest issue was the fact that our tackles were rotating doors on both sides. We played with upwards of 10 different offensive linemen the entire year. No quarterback under any circumstance would have succeeded behind this offensive line. Week 1 looked like it may have just been a bad day for the offense and not a great day for the defense, although they did only allow 17 points. But little did we all know it was a show of what was to come for the rest of the year. I mean, literally on the exact same play, the exact next play, Joe Flacco's back. He almost gets sacked, and he throws a decent pass right to Jerry Jeudy that immediately gets picked. It immediately got picked afterwards, and we were like, oh, okay, maybe this was just a one-time thing. Everybody drops a ball over here and there. It was a little low, but no, Jerry Jeudy ended up dropping the most passes in the NFL, and everybody at that stadium, because I was there for this game, everybody at the stadium was extremely upset. We had season ticket holders leave early during week 1. And everybody wanted to blame Joe Flacco. While Joe Flacco was not that to blame, our tackles let back one of the worst defensive linemen in the league. And Jerry Jeudy dropped a pass that went straight into the defense's hand. Like, this is all just against the Bengals, who were projected to have the worst defense in the league. Like, this happened all year, and I will show you the receipts, but against one of the worst defenses in the league, we got pressured several times. We got sacked multiple times. We threw multiple interceptions due to drops. It was insanity on how bad it was, and you can't even blame the quarterbacks in these kind of positions because it's not their fault. I mean, look at this here. It's 3rd and 9. We're in the red zone. A game on the line, essentially. 3 minutes, our guards and tackles just let the defense through like they paid for some VIP. Here's the red carpet, sir. I know you don't like Joe Flacco. You can sack him all you want. After that, our kicker did proceed to miss a 45-yard field goal, but I can't really blame him on that because after that, he was basically automatic with over a 90% making. But literally, the next drive, we stopped them. We have under 2 minutes to go. We wasted one timeout to get the ball back. 1:30. We have 2 timeouts left. It is so possible to win this game. The game is in our hands. Game's on the line. You know what happens? 2nd down. We take a shot. He drops it. And the defense caught it again. This was happening all year, man. Like, it's crazy that this happened against the worst defense or the second worst defense at best in the league. It happened against them twice. Their defense got through our offensive line like they offered up some VIP, and our offense just forgot how to catch the ball. It was insanity. But Week 1 shutters. Who knows? Maybe it was just a bad day, you know. The nerves were getting to everybody. Joe Flacco was, he didn't really practice a whole lot during the offseason because he was dealing with some injuries. But, it's Week 1, you can't base everything off Week 1, right? You know what I almost forgot was also terrible? Not only did our receivers drop everything this year and our tackles were swinging doors, our special teams. Oh, man. Don't even get me started. I mean, you gotta just look at this, dude. It's week 2 of the season, and we're already having punts being blocked. What is going on, man? This isn't the only punt that gets blocked during week... Man, it's got me stuttering. This isn't the only punt that gets blocked during the season, and that's absolutely insanity. The fact that one punt gets blocked is crazy. But I think we had 3 to 4 punts blocked this year. Also, on kickoff, we had 1 touchdown and then so many yards. It was absolutely insanity. And the fact that our special teams coordinator is still on the roster to this day. It is late January and we still have the same guy on the roster. Whew. But versus one of the worst defenses of the time, we didn't know. We thought the Ravens, they were going to be a good team. We thought they were going to have a decent defense. But for the first 10 weeks of the season, they were one of the worst defenses in the league, if not the worst. And we still were terrible against them. Like, poor Joe Flacco was out here looking like a scrambling quarterback. He was running outside of the pocket when this man is nearing his 40s. He's nearing his midlife crisis, and we've got this man running around like he just entered the league. And it made him make some bonehead choices. Like, oh my gosh, he's rushed outside of the pocket on this play. And we're just waiting, and he just decides to chuck it up straight to the defense. Like, that's how bad our offensive line was, that we had Joe Flacco looking like one of a scrambling quarterback. This guy is literally sprinting for his life, and he couldn't catch up to somebody that had an angle caught on him. That's how bad our offensive line was. Like, honestly, I feel bad for the way that the Browns treated Joe Flacco for the first weeks of the season. And I think they traded him to the Bengals to just kind of like pay him back. Like, here you go. We're gonna give you a cookie for dying for us. I mean, just look at this play. Look at this next play, man. It literally, like, he gets pressured almost immediately. And, like, boom, off the line. First read, second read. Nobody's open. They just killed him. He's dead. He died. He just died on national TV, and nobody cared. His children just watched that happen. And just some more to come that's later in this video. They put in Dillon Gabriel at the end of the game because it's garbage time. It's 10-41. We've lost. You know, figure might as well just see what our rookies got. And this is one of the longest throws that I see Dillon Gabriel make all year. This is like, and it's probably a 15-yard throw. This is one of the longer throws that I see him make all year because I think that those doors that we had called offensive tackles ruined Dillon Gabriel's I think Dillon Gabriel got scared, and that's why he was so terrible, because of the doors that we called tackles. I think they literally ruined his progression as an NFL athlete. Week 3, it was the Packers game, and this game gave me so much hope for the season. The Packers were looking at Super Bowl contenders since they had Micah Parsons, and they look like an amazing team. And, you know, week 3, we beat them. You know, it's 13-10. Our defense had a shutout. We had a bad game on offense relatively, but still, that's an amazing defense that we beat. Here's one of our other issues that the Browns had all year. Coaching. Literally, having Joe Flacco run outside of the pocket. Here, I'll go back so you guys can see it a little bit more. But Joe Flacco is sprinting at the very start. This is designed. He's sprinting at the start of the play, one of the last plays of the half, and he's sprinting, throws it right into triple coverage because they've got 40-year-old Joe Flacco out here running. Like, what are we doing, man? Now we move on to week 4 against the Lions. We were literally in a heavy personnel. And Joe Flacco still gets pressured. Like, here, I'll run it back so you guys can see it. But we've got Joe Flacco out here in 2025 playing superhero ball because we're in heavy personnel. Two heavy people, a tight end and a fullback out here, and we still nearly get sacked. Like, I want you to look at me and tell me that when your favorite team brings out an extra offensive lineman or a tight end and a fullback and they both block and you're getting pressured, I want you to look me dead in the eyes and tell me that you're satisfied and blame the quarterback for nearly getting sacked there. Off the line, almost immediately, Aiden Hutchinson, one of the better defensive ends probably top 6 in the league, but he was fresh off of a broken foot. Like, his leg was snapped in half, and he gets pressure nearly immediately. I'd rewind it, but there's not much to see. There was maybe 2 seconds. He got through his first read and then was sacked immediately. Like, literally, our tackles, this is the tackle. This is any defensive end in the league, any defensive end, and probably college, and maybe some high schoolers. You want to get by? There you go. You're allowed. Now, here is one of Joe Flacco's other interceptions, and granted, he did have a little bit of time, and they did send an all-out blitz, but he had 2 people in his face, so I can't be angry for him on this interception. Like, he's got no time in the pocket. Literally, boom, ball snapped. First read, he's going open, he gets hit, wide receiver trips, and then it's an interception. I can't blame him 100% on that, but it's still pressure. Here we are after halftime. You know, we're down 7-20. Maybe we can make some adjustments. Quit getting Joe Flacco killed. Why would we do that? You remember that one time he beat us that one day when he was on the Ravens? We hate Joe Flacco. Why would we ever want our quarterback to succeed? I mean, look at this. Our running back literally lays a monster block. Boom! Boom! Bang! And he drops it. He's playing superhero ball, and our tight end drops the pass. You can't be mad at Joe Flacco for that. He's getting murdered out there. I'm about to show you guys another punt. This is what week it is. Week 4, and I'm already showing you the second punt lowlight of this season. Like, if it's not a blocked punt, it's a punt getting returned for several to a touchdown. It's either like 20, 30 yards or it's a touchdown. It was, man, like, look at this, man. Our special teams coordinator still has a job. It's almost February, and he still has a job. Here we are, 10-27, 7 minutes left in the game. You get a touchdown here, you've got a fighting chance. I'm this close to getting him, coach. Put me back in. I swear I'll block him this time. Wrong. Play starts. Here we go. Yeah. Boom. Kane snaps. Oop. He gets a little bit of time. Boom. Blasted. Turns the ball over. Can't even blame Joe Flacco. I feel bad for the way the Cleveland Browns treated Joe Flacco. Here we are. It's week 5. You're 1-3. You're in London. You're up against Carson Wentz. Vikings, they got a good defense. It's not amazing. They got a good defensive coordinator. But Joe Flacco experiment, it was obviously his fault that the offensive line was so terrible. And he is to blame that we are 1-3. Don't you think otherwise. It is Joe Flacco's fault that the Browns are 1-3. I promise to you. That's why Kevin Stefanski is fired right now. We put in Dylan Gabriel. You know what? Everybody wanted Shadur. But okay, we put in Dylan Gabriel. We drafted him higher. We owe it to him, right? Now, I'm not upset with the way Dylan Gabriel played. Now, he did not play amazing. I'll say that now. But look at this. It's a play action, and he immediately gets sacked. My question is, oh man, why on God's green earth are you running a play action when you know that your tackles are a saloon door? I'm going to run a play action on 2nd and 7. Our running back is probably our best offensive weapon, so I'm going to run a play action instead of giving him the ball, and my quarterback gets sacked, and now we can't really convert on 3rd down because you're running play actions when you don't have the time to protect on a normal play. This game is why I'm starting to believe that maybe our offensive line ruined Dylan Gabriel. Maybe Dylan Gabriel would have been decent had he had a decent offensive line. Like, he was pushing the ball down the field decently, you know? Like, I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I think the offensive line scarred him. Like, he knew he didn't have time, so he stopped throwing the ball past 5 yards. He's like, man, what's the point of even trying to throw it deep? I know I'm going to get sacked. I'm just going to throw my checkdowns even if they're not open. I mean, look at this. This is a pretty good throw. It's a contested throw. Like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Dylan Gabriel, he nearly gets sacked here, by the way. But that's a great throw. Defense can't get it. It's only where David Njoku can get it. And, you know, he still nearly got sacked. That's the crazy part. It was his first read. One read. This is the guy I'm throwing it to. Whoop! Still nearly got sacked on a one-on-one. I'm going to further my propaganda that the Browns' offensive line ruined any possibility of Dylan Gabriel ever being good, because look at this throw. I want you guys to look at this throw. And now I'm a Dylan Gabriel hater. Like, I think that he wasn't very well, but into triple coverage, he gets the ball there. Like, that's a good throw. And I'm starting to believe that all of the hate that he had was unjustified, and it was all due to the fact that our tackles were saloon doors. Beep, beep, beep. This video needs to be sponsored by a bar, because I'm telling you, the amount of times that you'll see a Cleveland Browns tackle just let a defensive player go by, it will be surreal. You'll be like, no way. Somebody investigate their bank account, because they had to be betting on the over on the amount of sacks. Week 6 is when I realized that Kevin Stefanski gotta go. You know, week 5, 30 seconds left in the game against the Vikings. And, I mean, they had a 2-minute drive, and there was a really questionable call in the end zone by, like, calling a weird defense is all I'm going to say. And that was when I was like, okay, bad call. 2-time coach of the year is allowed to have a bad call every here and there. But week 6, our rookie quarterback. We are in Pittsburgh. We haven't had a rookie quarterback win in Pittsburgh since I've been born. I can legally vote. I can drive. We haven't had a rookie quarterback or a quarterback making their first start win in Pittsburgh since the 90s. You know what he does? He has Dylan Gabriel, who, sure, he looked decent. He looked fine in his Vikings game. He has Dylan Gabriel throw 60 times. 6-0. 6-0. 60. Not 1-6, not 16. 60 times. Boy, this is when I was like, oh man, Kevin Stefanski, you're done. You're done for. This is the game that ruined Dylan Gabriel. I promised you that this is the game that ruined Dylan Gabriel. He got sacked 8 times this game. The poor guy was punching Patrick Queen. That's how many times he was getting hit and sacked. He literally, there's a clip of him just bam. Like, he's hitting Patrick Queen. They're hitting him late, so he's hitting them late. Like, this is the game that caused Dylan Gabriel to be so bad. This is when Dylan Gabriel realized, he was like, I'm not going to be able to throw the ball. Boom. Ball snapped. He gets sacked by a corner. A cornerback. A corner. Jalen Ramsey gets a sack. The very first sack of the game. And it's Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey was one-on-one with our tackle. Like, our tackle touched Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey still got through. If you are an NFL tackle, I don't care what corner you're going against. If you're getting beat by a corner, when you get hands-on said corner, you don't deserve to play football at any level. Maybe you could go back to some D3 level. But no, I don't care. You get hands-on a corner as a tackle, that corner better not be getting a sack. No, Jalen Ramsey is apparently the best edge rusher of all time. Here we go again. Second quarter, 0-6. Close game. No touchdowns have been scored. It's 3rd and 4. All right? 4 yards to go. We call up a pass play. Okay, whatever. Dylan Gabriel proceeds to get tackled by our own right guard here. Look at that. Number 55. 55 tackled his own quarterback. He's never played for the Steelers, so I don't know how he got confused. That's how bad our offensive line was. That D-line, the most overrated defensive line, overrated defense in the entire league, was getting bullied so bad that they had us sacking our own quarterback. That is insanity. I've only seen that happen on video games in NCAA. Like, I play NCAA and that happens once in a blue moon. I've literally never in my life seen somebody tackle their own quarterback. I think that if Dillon Gabriel was on a different team, he would be a starting quarterback. Like, literally, put him on the Raiders even. Maybe even the Raiders, he probably would have beat out Geno Smith and played the whole season. Like, it's insanity to me on how horrendous our offensive line was. I know that Raiders fans have it bad, but, like, this was terrible. I want you to watch this play right here. This, not only does Dillon Gabriel get sacked. Shocker, right? Not only does Dillon Gabriel get sacked, I want you to look at this play call. Hold on. It's a play action. Boom. Okay. We've got nobody. He's already been sacked twice, all right? We have nobody running within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, okay? You'll never guess what happens. He gets sacked because guess what? We don't have enough time for anything to develop deep, right? This was where I was ready to fire Kevin Stefanski. Like, this game. Last game, I was like, okay, he can finish the rest of the season, but this game made me realize that Kevin Stefanski should not be coaching the NFL. At least, not at the head coach position. I want you guys to listen to what I'm about to say. Quinshon Judkins was drafted in the second round. He was a top 35 pick. And on first and goal, we didn't give him the ball. We threw it. Okay, whatever. Second and goal, we throw it again. He gets sacked almost immediately. Now, he had somebody open, and it would have been a hard throw, but apparently Kevin Stefanski thought he could make that throw. And so on third down, you'll never guess what happens. If you said sack, you'd be wrong. It was an incompletion. You want to know why? He got pressured. You're down 9-23. There's a little bit under 6 minutes left, about 5.5 minutes left in the game. All right, 14 points. That's 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points. You can do it. It's going to be a little bit tough. But you can do it. You do have all 3 timeouts. It's 2nd and 2. You're past the 50. What's your first thought? Your best offensive player is a running back. You drafted him high in the second round. Well, you will never guess what Kevin Stefanski thought to do, and you'll never guess the result. Woo! Look at this. We're passing it. It's 2nd and 2. We're passing it. He's getting sacked. All of a sudden, it's a real hard third down. It's going to be hard to convert this third down. I'm telling you guys now that this game was the worst coached game, the worst play called game that I have witnessed my entire life. I watched the Browns go 0-16. I watched the Cleveland Browns win 1 game in 2 years. All right, 1 game in 2 years with the worst coach of all time. This game is genuinely the worst game I have ever seen. Like, on a coaching staff's choice, I think you could get a peewee coach. You could get my 4-year-old niece who's upstairs. You could get her, and she would be able to coach a better game than this. Quite literally, the next play, I can't really blame the offensive line for this one, because he had some time, but nobody got open, and he gets sacked again. 3rd and 8, game on the line, essentially. Like, 4th and 12. Here we go. Let's see. All pressure on one side. Look at that. Look at 72. Nearly. Let's go back. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's watch 72. 1-on-1. Oh, just kidding. He had chip help, and He still nearly gave up a sack, man. It was a 2 versus 1. 72 has got to be the worst tackle of all time. He got chipped by the tight end. 72 stayed shallow, barely got an arm on him, and got beat deep. Like, it's honestly impressive on how bad he was all year. Week 7, we're up against the Dolphins. The Dolphins look bad this year, but so do we. It's just like, oh, man. And it's still crazy is the Dolphins, all of their pass rushers were still down. You know, they were out. Final score of the game was 31-6. Cleveland Browns' favor. We still were pressured. I was at this game. I watched this happen. Dillon Gabriel was still facing pressure in a game of a blowout win at home. In Cleveland, he was getting pressured by people with their number 1 and number 2 pass rusher had like torn Achilles and torn ACLs in the preseason. Like, these people didn't have the offseason to practice. Like, these guys were on career-ending injuries nearly. And they played in this game because they were healthy. And they still nearly sacked the quarterback multiple times. It's crazy. I'll skip over this game because video is running a little bit long. Don't want to keep you guys for too long now. But a blowout win. You know, we're up, we're running the ball, and you're still nearly getting sacked. Come on, man. Browns versus Patriots. Myles Garrett has 5 sacks this game. We're not talking about him. We're talking about the downsides. Now, I want you to look at this play here. It does end up being a touchdown, but just watch this. Watch what happens. Watch this B or C gap. Oh, Dillon Gabriel. He gets the ball off in time. You know, I'll show the touchdown. There's not many of these. Boom, touchdown. Whoa. Browns are up 7-3 against the Patriots. Patriots are 5-2. Season's looking good. We're up. He nearly got blown up on that play. I don't know if you guys saw, but he was this close to getting exploded. Here we are on 3rd and 7. And this one isn't an offensive line problem. Boom. Straight to the defense. Like, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. This play that I'm about to show you essentially sums up the entirety of the Browns season. Not only is there's 2 flags. There's a holding flag. That's why there's a little bit of protection. He's throwing it to ghost. Y'all remember how Sam Darnold, who's in the Super Bowl right now, was out there seeing ghosts? I think Sam Darnold might have possessed Dillon Gabriel on this play. There is literally nobody in the vicinity of this ball. Within, about like, I want to say like 20 yards, all right? Because there's people down here. Nobody within 20 yards of this ball. This ends up being a safety, and that's game. I'm telling you, this went on all season long. That was only up to week 8. Man, week 8, there's still 9 more games in the season, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But due to time's sake, I'm cutting it short here, and due to sanity's sake, because I'm losing my mind rewatching these games, all right? I need to think about my blood pressure, man. But make sure you guys subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Make sure to drop a comment. Tell me what team I should do next and why they were so poor, why they were so good this year. Make sure to click that bell icon after you subscribe as well. Peace out.